There we go.
Hey, Moses, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, how's your day so far?
It's been good. It's been good. Have days off right now, so I'm enjoying them right now.
Amazing, amazing. So, Moses, talk to me. Your new single and video is to be out this Friday. So, can you tell me
Yes.
a bit about the songwriting of this new single and the making of the video?
Okay. So the making of the video is always it's always an experience when it comes to making the videos with us. We have our guy. His name is Wade Concien.
Mhm.
He is super into the Marvel, the aliens, the high cinematics style of doing videos and all that. And so are we. Logan and I are very much into that, very super nerds when it comes to all of that stuff. We can talk for hours when it comes to all of that stuff if you get us on that subject. And so the video Talk to Me is basically I'm in outer space, and the way I had to do that was insane. Like I was literally hanging from like a pinky thin pulley cord in a garage, and I was held up by a truck, and we were just praying to whatever god or gods exist out there that thing did not snap on me. And it worked. It really worked. I had to have faith in a lot of my acting skills in order to do what it is that I had to do. So the video basically tells the story of an astronaut that's in outer space, and he's lost, and trying to get the radio to work. So talk to me, right? Like
Yeah.
he's looking for help, but he just can't reach it. And it kind of in the same way embodies like what the song itself is about. It's like people that don't necessarily know how to reach out for help, but you're telling your friend, like, you can talk to me because I'd rather you tell me things than you go do something out there that's going to hurt yourself or somebody else. And the cinematics in this video are amazing. They're so amazing. And it's one of those things that you don't have to have like this astronomical budget to be able to do that. You just really have to know the right people, make friends with the right people, or even if you yourself as an individual know how to do all these things with green screen. And I'm sure there are plenty of classes you can take online that would help, with all these codings and whatnot to be able to do that. Photoshop, I mean, the world is yours when it comes to that. And I just want people to know that when they watch this video, it's just not us jumping around in a room or something. Like we're really focused on making it like a whole experience for you all as well.
Amazing, amazing, Moses. And the artwork that was going along for this single Talk to Me is fascinating. So, can you tell me a bit about the making of the artwork?
Okay, so the artwork, Logan has a lot to do with that. He really, like when we were doing the older artwork, he really embodied like the whole city with everything it is that they have kind of done in the past. And in this one, it's kind of basically the same thing, but in a room. So it's just very much like our nerd side, and like just growing up with that, kind of like we almost went through that explosion of technology within 10 years, and it's just everything just was there. And it's kind of like how we kind of grew up in that sense, and in those kinds of rooms, like everybody has more or less their 64s still at home, or like their collections of old video games, or old toys even, or whatnot. And it was just very much like reminiscent, like that nostalgia in a way.
Amazing. And any plans for the band to get back to studio for another album later this year or probably next year?
Well, right now we're very focused on doing our singles. We were just really seeing like what can we do that is unexpected, that it's going to be like, oh my gosh, they really did something like this. We don't want people to think it's just going to be like we're just going to be releasing more metalcore, more typical, of like the first album type of Scarlett thing. It's like now that we have the ability to, let's explore, let's branch out, let's do all that stuff. Andrew Bayless, we have been working with him very well. It just like fit together. You know, like when you go into the studio, sometimes you might go with somebody and it just doesn't completely fit together. But with working with Andrew, it just works. Like everybody brings their A game. He's just so good at what it is that he does. And that can definitely be a possibility doing an album. I don't really see why not, but right now we are focusing on a lot of singles. If the hype goes up more, the buzz goes up more, and people want that from us, then all right, let's start talking.
Wonderful. And 2018's your sophomore album, Welcome Back to the Brodeo, was a totally amazing hit for you guys. Great, great album, amazing songs
Thank
put
you.
together. So how do you feel about the success and how was the reception on a global scale?
So when it came to that one, I know they were putting out more of like the metalcore thing again. They were like, all right, let's kind of like do this one as like the last one before we kind of go off and start exploring other things. It The response might not have been as great as the first one, but it's kind of like we left it to kind of be like, hey, we can still do that. Like, so for anybody out there that's like, oh, they don't got it anymore to do anything like that or whatnot, it's like, no, we've proven that we can still do that. And if people still to this day are like, we want more of a metalcore thing, that it's like, okay, show up, start commenting, start liking, start letting us know and all that. And it's definitely something that's still within our grasp to do, within our reach to do. And right now we're just like exploring everything. There has been a lot of love so far, and you would think, when bands go in a different direction, sometimes it can get a little 50-50, and some people really hate it and some people really like it. We've gained a lot of new fans, and so far it's been a lot of positivity.
Amazing. And how is the touring plan looks for the band now?
So the touring, we haven't really discussed that yet. Right now, we're just more focused on, I guess, getting more of our portfolio ready so that people could know what we're about now, this Scarlett that we have become now, and really, really trying to set it up to the point where it's kind of like, oh, I see what you all are doing now. And once we get there to that point and we get our portfolio as good as it is that we wanted, then we can kind of figure out more or less what bands we would be better off touring with and go from there.
Sounds good. And what would be some of the upcoming plans for the band?
So definitely a lot of the new music is just I Logan and I have always wanted more of like a shock factor when it comes to all of that stuff, kind of be like, uh, look at the capabilities that we can do now. Technology has moved so far since then. Musicianship has moved so far since then, and there's just a new plethora of ideas that have come from each and every member as we grew up. Like not all the tastes stay the same, and sometimes you just want to go off and explore other things, and we're just kind of doing that within the same group now. So it's still Scarlett O'Hara, but we're figuring that out. As far as shows and everything, the only one that I know right now is the We Were Hungry festival. That was a meme that was created out of the When We Were Young festival.
Yeah.
And William Wentz, great guy, he is doing his best to set that up. We got a Skylit Drive on that one. Alisana has recently joined that one. Scarlett O'Hara with us. Dropout Kings, and I cannot wait for that one. I believe that show is going to take place somewhere around October 20th and 21st. So if anybody happens to be around that area at that time, go check it out. I strongly recommend it. Go say hi to us, meet us, and all of that stuff.
Wonderful, wonderful noises. And the band's history goes way back to 2008. So how has the road been for you guys so far?
Okay, so when I had come into the band, yeah, they had a long history before I did, and so I can only kind of say from like my part of it, and the road has always been, the road can be the road sometimes, but for the most part, it's been great, you know, and I can't wait to get back out there. Once we do all of this, once we get the image set, the new music rolling and all of that, I can't wait to get back out there. Honestly, it is so much fun to just wake up and then it's like, well, what state are we in now? You know, and everything is just it sometimes it just gets so beautiful out there, all the winter and all of that, although dangerous, it's still beautiful. The summer heat, like it is an amazing experience to be able to travel and do what it is that you love.
Amazing. And being one of the well-known musicians in metalcore genre, how have you feel about the success of the band? Do you feel all your dreams has been accomplished, or still there are more dreams that has to come back to reality?
There are definitely more dreams, you know, and it's one of those things that it's like we're not like kids anymore. So it's kind of like sometimes dreams do come with a price, and we realize that as we grow up, right? You know, reality is just kind of like not on my watch, right? You're not gonna get anything that easy. So yeah, you know, for anybody doing a band and really trying to work for it, it's kind of like, yes, have the dream, have the love for it and everything, but understand that this is the real world and we all have to face our own adult issues and everything that it is that we go with. I mean, it is what it is, you know, but you take each and every day by day and you're doing what it is that you love, and eventually, you know, piece by piece, it'll make itself into the bigger picture. Everything will fall into place as long as you keep working hard at it.
Amazing, amazing. And we all know music is ever evolving each and every single day.
Yeah.
And do you guys would be focusing more on the same genre, or you'll be doing a lot of experimentation in the coming days?
Definitely a lot of experimentation, you know, we with anything, right? You I feel like if you just keep it the same all the time, all the time, all the time, it can probably get really stale. And now that we've already all grown as musicians, it just seems like a right thing to do to start exploring. I mean, you have bands like Bring Me the Horizon that started off with like a really heavy deathcore type of sound. And literally right now they're doing like pop music, you know, and they're still killing it. And it just goes to show that it doesn't sometimes you do have the people that can be real elitists, I guess, in the genre, and they really want you to stay the same and everything. And I guess I understand to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's like you're allowed to grow, you're allowed to explore, and you're always going to be figuring yourself out through life, you know, it's just never going to stop. So the same thing with your music, just keep figuring it out and keep putting out things. If it fails, then it fails. Like that's just life. You move on, and then you keep trying something else, you know, never be afraid to try for new things.
Absolutely amazing, amazing. And would you like to share some of the great moments that you had over the years?
Oh wow, yeah, I mean, it's just been cool, like playing with the red jumpsuit apparatus. It was like, what, like, you know, like I just remember seeing these guys like music videos on like TV and stuff, you know, or like they'd be all over Facebook and everything, and then I'm like, wow, we really played a show with them, you know, or like we really played at the same festival with Metallica, Leonard Skinner,
Yeah.
Spirit Box, Disturbed. And it's kind of like I never thought in my life that I would ever be there. You know, that's just not something you think about when you're in a band. It's like, oh, by the way, yeah, you're gonna play at the same festival with Metallica. It's like, oh, sweet, you know, that's something cool to be able to write down in
Yeah,
your like, you
absolutely.
know, bio of yourself. Like, and I feel like not many people get to say that and do that. And so it's been amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Moses, finally, do you have any message for the fans around the world?
Yeah, my message is that, you know, it's like listen to us, check us out. We love you guys so much, and thank you all for listening to our music. And you know, we'll just keep evolving it. So do not be surprised if you hear something that's just like, oh, what is this, you know, like that's kind of the reaction we want from people sometimes. And I love seeing it, whether it's bad, whether it's good, that's fine. everybody should have their opinions on anything, and music is music, and we hope that we can grow to become a band that you guys love as well.
Amazing, amazing, Moses. And Moses, I want to thank you so much for giving me today this wonderful opportunity to have this great interview with you. And thank you for Talk to Me, which is going to be released this Friday. A great song again from you guys, absolute music
Thank
again.
you so much.
And thank you so much for the music over the years. It's a real pleasure to listen to you guys. And I wish you and the entire band all success in the coming days.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a great evening, mate. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.